Hi learners! We now move on to the last, that is the fourth topic of Unit 2. The topic is dealt with in 4 videos and talks about the causal or the experimental design. The topic will discuss the components and classification of the experimental design in detail. The basic purpose of analytical research is not to provide information or facts to the reader, but to examine the facts and to compare and evaluate them to pass a judgment. Analytical research explores a topic in depth, often beginning with a question that asks why or how. Unlike descriptive research, which aims at determining what something is, analytical research is an attempt to establish why something is in a certain way or how it came to be that way. Various types of analytical research methods are used by researchers. These methods are regression analysis approach, grouping analysis approach, and multiple equation methods. The first is regression analysis approach. In regression analysis, the outcome or the results produced from the research is affected by one or more individual elements of the experiment. Grouping analysis approach. Grouping methods of analytical approach are based on classification and grouping of the variables in an experiment based on their discriminate values and characteristics. Multiple equation methods. Multiple method is just an extension of the regression method discussed above. This method explains about the path of an individual element in an experiment. There are 2 main types of multiple equation models. That is, the path analysis and the structural equation model. Path analysis is used to test out many different ways one thing can affect another. Path analysis helps the researchers measure which of the possible relationships matter the most and which might turn out to be not important at all. In path analysis, researchers use models to map out relationships between variables and test them for strength. Structural equation models include a diverse set of mathematical models, computer algorithms, and statistical methods that fit networks of constructs. The next type of research that we will now discuss in detail is the survey method. Survey method is a type of descriptive research design. It is the technique of gathering data by asking questions to people who are thought to have the desired information. A formal list of questionnaire is prepared. Generally, a non-disguised approach is used. The respondents are asked questions on their demographic interest opinion. There are mainly 4 methods by which we can collect data through the survey method. The first is the telephonic interview. Telephonic interview stands out as the best method for gathering data quickly. Responses are collected from the respondents by the researcher on the telephone. The second is personal interviewing. This is the most versatile of all the methods. They are used when props are required along with the verbal response, and non-verbal responses can also be observed. The third is the mail survey. Here, no verbal interaction takes place between parties involved. Questionnaires are mailed to potential respondents. They'll fill it up and send it back. Mostly, mail package will consist of the outgoing envelope, cover letter, questionnaire, return envelope, etc. Electronic interview is the 4th method of collecting data. Electronic interviewing is a process of recognizing and noting people, objects, and occurrences rather than asking for information. For example, when you go to a store, you notice which product people like to use. The Universal Product Code, or the UPC, is also a method of observing what people are buying. The advantages of the survey method are: number 1, as compared to other methods like direct observation and experimentation, survey yields a broader range of information. Surveys are effective to produce information for planning product features, advertising media, sales promotion, channels of distribution, and other marketing variables. Second is that the questioning is usually faster and cheaper than observation. Thirdly, questions are simple to administer. Fourth, the data is reliable. Fifth, the variability of results is reduced. And sixth, it is relatively simple to analyze, quote, and interrelate the data obtained by the survey method. The disadvantages of the survey method are unwillingness of respondents to provide information, inability of the respondents to provide information due to maybe lack of knowledge, lapse of memory, or inability to identify their motives and provide reasons for their actions. Human biases of the respondents, semantic difficulties, that is, difficulties faced in stating a given question in a way that it'll mean exactly same to each respondent. Now let's talk about the ways in which we can overcome the limitations of the survey method. The first is by careful framing and phrasing of questions. Secondly, by having a careful control of data gathering by employing specially trained investigators who will observe carefully and report subtle reactions of persons interviewed. Third is cautious interpretations by a clear recognition of the limitations of the data and understating of what exactly the data represents. This is especially true of responses to questions like, what price would you be willing to pay for this product? The fourth is looking at facts in relative rather than absolute terms. So learners, in this video, you learnt about the analytical method and the survey method. Thank you.